Abel Sanchez doesn't believe Gennady Golovkin will get the credit or just due for beating Canelo Alvarez. He says, after they beat Canelo Alvarez, Canelo will just be dubbed another bum. This your man, CJ Goodfellow. We about to enter that boxing clinic talk, you dig? And, in this article, I'm going to link in the description, like I've been usually doing of late. Abel Sanchez seems miffed why people label Golovkin, his 23 consecutive knockouts, as most of them as bums. And I've been one person to share those sentiments. He doesn't understand it. He says after the fight, fans and media aficionados are going to turn and say Canelo was just a blown up, junior middleweight, which I tend to give him full credit for Canelo. I gave him full credit for Danny Jacobs, even though I had him losing, but it was a close fight, so you can't scream robbery. Some people seem to think that, Jacobs was on the shit end of a decision to make Triple G and Canelo happen. It is what it is. I can't say it is or say it ain't, but it was a good competitive fight, and Triple G last two fights seen some blueprints landed how to beat him. Laid how to beat him, man. It is what it is. People can think how they want to think. Abel Sanchez said, when the last time have you seen a fighter dominate a division like Triple G has dominated his division? And he just doesn't understand why this guy isn't getting full credit. And the simple reason is, who the fuck is you fighting? You fought Dominic Wade. What he had, like 12, 15 fights? Nobody has ever heard of this dude. He's from the Maryland area. Matthew Macklin had already been beat. Marco Antonio Rubio had already been knocked out. David Lemieux got knocked out by Antonio Rubio. Curtis Stevens had been beat by Andre Dirrell, and I think he got stopped by Jesse Brinkley. Gabriel Rosado. Come on, you say no more. You look at who he has fought. The one solid guy on his resume, other than his last two professional fights, was Martin Murray. When he almost went the distance and took a hell of an ass whooping. Give Triple G credit for that fight. I gave him credit for that. But other than that, man, you're 35 years old, and what he's not understanding is this guy's 35 years old. Canelo is, 26? And he has more marquee victories on his resume. And at 26 years old, he's done way more than Triple G. And on fight night, I don't think any of that's going to matter. It's going to be Triple G versus Canelo. And I think to the victor goes the spoils. All the talk about, Triple G fighting bums. This is his true evaluation test. This is his first time on the big stage. Never mind if you believe Canelo Alvarez is a better fighter than Kell Brook or a better fighter than anybody who's fought, Danny Jacobs. I don't think that matters here. I think this is a real test, a standardized boxing state mandated test for Triple G. We never seen Triple G in a fight of this magnitude. We seen Canelo in the fights of this magnitude, do a million with Chavez Jr. before, break the record with Floyd Mayweather at the time, or almost break the record with Floyd at the time and come up short. We know what he's going to do on the big stage, and then Abel Sanchez, he's put his foot in his mouth a lot of times. He talks all that shit. Oh, we going to knock out Jacobs. He didn't do it. He talks all this shit. He fails to realize, he fails to materialize in his words what he's been saying, though. Lara's nobody. Willie Monroe is bigger than Lara. Come on, you just fought a guy in Willie Monroe who won the Boxino tournament on ESPN Friday Night Fights. How is he a bigger name than Erislandy Lara, who's fought Paul Williams? Who's fought Canelo Alvarez? So, I don't understand that at the same time. The matchmaking, Adamo, who the fuck? Ashita, what the fuck? So you just look at the matchmaking, man. He comes out and said, we go anywhere from 154 pounds, and he said 175 pounds originally and changed it to 168 pounds. Andre Ward said, let's fight 168 pounds. No. But he was willing to fight Carl Froch. He was willing to fight Chavez Jr. at 168 pounds. It's just the hypocrisy of Abel Sanchez and Team Triple G that really takes away from Golovkin's credit. When there's opportunity to fight big names, he doesn't make the accommodations to fight them. And, even in the Canelo fight, if it wasn't for him looking subpar versus Jacobs and Kell Brook, would he be, would Canelo step up to the plate? If it wasn't for McGregor and Mayweather, the rumors of it being made, would it have been made so fast? I don't know. So you just look at it. He doesn't understand. It's because he's full of shit half the time. He's selling dreams, and then when it's time to make the dreams reality, you know, they go do some other shit. Oh yeah, you know, we stop Andre Ward. Andre Ward said let's fight. Oh no, 164 pounds. No, we're not ready. I mean, all that bullshit. You telling us he's the best fighter in the world? Prove it. I mean, a 23 knockout streak is nothing when you're not fighting nobody. Notable names that you knocked out: Curtis Stevenson, David Lemieux. I mean, who? People just seem to like David Lemieux because he can punch. There's no boxing skill there. Willie Monroe, Boxino ESPN tournament winner at junior middleweight. You know, who? Proska. I mean, the division you fighting at, you can say, okay, Jacob's the number 2 middleweight in the world, but he might not be the number 15 best fighter in the world. So you gotta look at the bar that you're using, the barometer that you're using. But at the end of the day, I think Triple G gets real credit for beating Canelo.